the legendary underground kingdom of Shambhala is real. Hitler also believed in its existence and searched around. Many people think of the hollow earth theory when they hear Shambhala. However, the hollow earth theory that the earth is empty and the small sun is shining in the center is wrong. It can be said that the inside of the earth is basically the structure explained by modern earth science. However, there are more huge cavities than expected in the lithosphere, including the crust and upper mantle. And these underground cavities are the most stable living spaces on Earth, protected from various threats from the space, such as high-energy cosmic rays, harmful electromagnetic fields, meteorites, and huge electric discharges. Underground cities like Shambhala are made up of networks that connect these spaces. And humans are not the only inhabitants of the underground world. There are three main races in the underground: modern humans, giants, and reptilians. However, not many humans live underground. There are many entrances to underground cities around the world. Inside the Potala Palace in Tibet, in the hinterland of Tibet, the Hyperborean Gallery in Romania, Cappadocia in Turkey, Siberia, the Grand Canyon in North America, the Amazon in South America, and Antarctica. This is the entrance to the cave leading to Shambhala in the hinterland of Tibet. It exists in a corner of a rocky mountain isolated from the surroundings. Atlantis ruins are left near the entrance, but it is an unexplored land and it is almost impossible to approach by land. Even if you can reach the entrance, the device that acts on human consciousness is operating, and humans cannot recognize the entrance. Going deep underground through a narrow passage filled with soft light, you will eventually end up in a huge space. Ancient ruins made by the Atlantis are also left here, but currently no one lives there. Proceeding through the huge cave, you will reach the entrance to Shambhala in 3 days. The buildings in front of you are the border town that guards the Shambhala border. Most of the inhabitants are descendants of the Atlantis, but it is the Tibetan monks who are in charge of security in the old custom. Monks sent from the Potala Palace in Tibet, who were allowed access to Shambhala, are guarding the border. Usually, the place called Shambhala refers to the human underground city that entered from the Tibetan side. Occasionally, people on the ground come to the border town, but no one can enter from here. Even if your passage is permitted, you will be accompanied by the Tibetan monks and your actions will be restricted. The royal palace of Shambhala exists in the space further back from this town. It is a huge building that spreads out in a magnificent underground space. But don't you remember this building? The Potala Palace in Lhasa, Tibet is modeled after the Shambhala Royal Palace. The building that rises here, near the entrance to Cappadocia, is Shambhala's second palace. The second palace is built in the middle of an underground lake. This palace was built by Christians and is also used as a monastery. Although not many, there are Christians in Shambhala who have moved underground as refugees. It seems that there is a castle in France that imitates this palace. There is a king in Shambhala, and the king stays in the second palace for about 3 months every year. This town is the former capital of Shambhala. Until about 100 years ago, this town was the center of Shambhala. So far, we have focused on the buildings that have existed in Shambhala for a long time, but Shambhala is not left behind by modernization. Behind the cave is the new city of Shambhala. There are landscapes that are no different from cities on the ground. Today, this city is the economic center of Shambhala. This is a power plant that supplies electricity to the new city. Shambhala also needs energy, but because of the closed space under the ground, fossil fuels are rarely used. geothermal power and nuclear power are used. In general, the temperature of mines dug deep underground is extremely hot. Therefore, the deep underground is considered unsuitable for living. However, the mine belongs to the volcanic belt because its main purpose is to mine resources. In the volcanic belt, there are many magma chambers near the ground, so it is hot. Outside the volcanic belt, it doesn't get hot even at great depths. Since economic activities are also carried out in Shambhala, there are various factories. Industrial facilities such as factories are basically gathered in the same underground space. In the underground factory, various measures have been taken to control waste, but of course, some waste cannot be treated. Solids are often dumped in magnet chambers, but effluents and toxic gases can also be dumped directly to the ground. The ground where such waste is dumped is a harmful place for living things. One such place is in the Siberian Viliui River basin, called the Death Valley. It is an old forbidden land, and it is called Death Valley because it makes you feel sick when you enter. This area is contaminated with harmful substances emitted by underground people, which makes people who enter the area sick. Artificial objects such as metal domes have been witnessed here, but these are part of the disposal equipment made by underground people. There is also an earth defense system installed by the Reptilian here. This defense system appears to have been used to destroy a meteorite that recently fell on Chelyabinsk. A similar disposal site also exists on the Kamchatka Peninsula, which is also called Death Valley because it causes illness when approached and there are many carcasses of animals. Toxic volcanic gas has been detected here, but the gas is toxic because waste is dumped into the magma. So far, we have mainly focused on Shambhala, where humans live, but there are also giants and reptilians living underground. Details are unknown, but there are a few dwarf races living underground in South America. This town is the only dwarf town currently known. The dwarf resembles a human, but is as small as about 20 centimeters tall, and is a subterranean species who has lived underground since ancient times. Dwarf underground people can occasionally come out to the ground and be witnessed. There are many sightings in South America due to the existence of the town under the ground in Chile. This huge space is the realm of giants. The territory of the giant is in a blessed environment with abundant nature even under the ground. However, it is clearly separated from humans, and it is basically impossible for humans to enter the realm of giants. Giants once lived a lot on the ground. They built a civilization before humans and left megalithic remains all over the world. The giant was a closely related Denisovan species found in Siberia and was superior to humans in terms of intelligence, physical strength, and longevity. They were less dependent on technology because they were biologically superior. As a result, technology has developed slowly, lost the competition for survival with humans, and has now disappeared from the ground. The main entrances to the giant's realm are in Eastern Europe, South America, and the Solomon Islands. Of these, the Romanian Hyperborean Gallery is intentionally closed by humans. Near the entrance on the Solomon Islands, a mixed race of humans and giants lives directly preventing human invasion. Now let's focus on the reptilian territory. They are often thought of as aliens, but they are not. They are the oldest civilized race on the planet. Reptilians are the rulers and guardians of the earth. Ancient people worshipped and feared reptilians as gods. Reptilians have an advanced tunnel network, but they are a mystery because no humans or giants can enter. Reptilians have vehicles that can move almost instantly anywhere on Earth, and can even travel beyond the atmosphere into space. Many of the UFOs witnessed around the world were developed by the United States and Russia based on Nazi technology, but some are reptilian vehicles. Of course, there are UFOs with aliens on board, but surprisingly, the number is not large, and most of them are of Earth origin. By the way, the elite who dominate the human society on Earth are also reptilians or reptilian puppets. Reptilians also prevent the invasion of hostile aliens. As they are called reptilians, they are creatures that evolved from reptiles, but they don't express their emotions as much as humans do. They do not harm humans for no reason, but they do not hesitate to eliminate those who pose a threat or disadvantage to them. For good reason, killing humans is not a sin, and they do not feel guilty. Thus, the reptilian is the true ruler of the Earth. And in the underground space, there are various civilizations with the reptilian at the top. This story is a reconstructed fiction based on information from various documents, folklore, eyewitness, and secret sources. So it's not a fantasy at all, but it's up to you how much you believe.